Black Ops 4 got a huge update today within Blackout, adding in the first ever additional DLC map with the Alcatraz Island, alongside the Blackout mode in and of itself going free to play on all platforms until April 30th. These two updates in unison really have resulted in an absolutely wild change of pace for Blackout, and Alcatraz as a map and as a mode has introduced some brand new elements into the standard Blackout gameplay that we know now. So today we are breaking down everything you need to know about Alcatraz. What's up guys, Zach or Immortal here, welcome back to the channel and thanks for stopping by. If you are new around here and you want to stay up to date with everything Black Ops 4 related, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when a new video goes live. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely drop a like on it as it does really help the channel out. Now, let's jump into Alcatraz and break down everything you need to know about the map and the brand new close quarters mode. For starters, this mode, dubbed Alcatraz Portal, right off the bat runs a little bit different from the main modes, limited time modes included, because on this map, being that it is so much smaller than the regular Blackout map, there is no drop path or even helicopter fleet to start the match. Instead, once that deployment timer hits 0, you're spat out of a portal in the sky and launched into the world beneath, meaning drops are hot and heavy, and oftentimes, unless you have a game plan going into the match, you're going to be left in the dust as the chaos unfolds in the first few initial moments of each game respectively. On the map itself, we do have 9 named locations in Model Industries, New Industries, Powerhouse, Officers Club, Cell House, Docks, Warden's House, Ruins, and Parade Grounds. And each one of these locations does have multiple levels and layers to explore, and also loot spawns galore. And that pretty much means anywhere you choose to land is going to guarantee you at least a little bit of action. Breaking down the Alcatraz mode itself, it plays pretty similar to Hot Pursuit or even Downed but Not Out, in the sense that you can redeploy if you end up going down and getting eliminated. However, redeploys in this mode do not coincide with the collapse circles like they do in Hot Pursuit or Downed but Not Out. And instead, you have a total of 5 redeploys to use that are available every 30 seconds up until the final collapse circle, where redeploy is then unavailable. This mode does also have a player cap of 40 players, which in theory might sound small, but really once you're in game, it feels like you are playing in a game with 90 to 100 players in it due to all those redeploys happening so frequently. And really, I'd say it's not until around those final 1 to 2 collapse zones where you see that 40-person player count start to dwindle down towards 30 players, 25 players, 20 players, so on and so forth. And there's definitely been a few times where even the final circle has upwards of 15 people battling it out in a very close quarters based scenario. So all things considered, this mode is extremely fast paced and action packed, and really my buddy Inkslasher put it well when we were talking when he said Alcatraz Portal is a mode that plays exactly like what you'd expect from a Call of Duty Battle Royale. This mode is fast, hectic, fun, and really everything you'd associate with Call of Duty's iconic gameplay style. But using all those same old tips and tricks that you can use in classic COD gameplay aren't necessarily going to work all the time here, even though the gameplay is so similar to what we'd expect in a standard Call of Duty game. And with that, I figured I'd throw in a few tips to help you guys get some more kills and hopefully some more wins as well in this brand new mode and on this brand new map right off the bat. Now, I've played about 15 to 20 matches so far, and not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'd say my squad and I have been doing pretty well for ourselves. I think we dropped like 11 or 12 wins in our little 2-hour session of playing, so we definitely did get some good experience to relay back to you guys. The first key component of succeeding in this game mode is going in with a game plan. Like I said earlier, there is no drop path or deploy time when the game starts. You can't choose when you want to drop and when you don't want to. You are immediately spat out into the game and sent flying down into the map, so you're going to need to know where you want to drop ahead of time. That said, my prime hot drop so far has been Model Industries, and I'll expand more on that in a second. But knowing that I'm going to drop at this location every single match has meant that right off the rip, I know my drop route and how to quickly get my boots on the ground before everyone else has even made up their mind. Not to mention, once you do get spat out of that portal, you are literally hurtling towards the ground. Like, this is an incredibly fast drop. Players are on the map within just a few seconds of the game starting, so you definitely need to know where you're going to go before the game starts. Now, one might ask, why is Model Industries your go-to? Well, for me, it's one of those locations that has the water to its back, and it's on the outskirts of the map. And with the map that has so many close quarters engagements, or at least the potential for them, limiting the amount of directions you can be targeted from is key to surviving longer. So those outer ring locations like Model Industries, Powerhouse Docks, Officers Club, and Ruins are going to be great hot drops for limiting your engagements, at least to a certain extent. On the other hand, though, areas like New Industries and Warden's House and even Cell House equate to enemies basically running at you from each and every direction, which oftentimes is so discombobulating that it leaves you redeploying multiple times in just the first few moments of the game, which is never good in the long run. You definitely want to be able to save those redeploys for as long as you can, and if possible, even get by without using them at all. And speaking of redeploys, another key component of doing well in this game mode is paying attention to when the next redeploy spawn is going to be available, and also when the current redeploy spawn is ending. This can be especially beneficial for keeping your enemies at bay and ensuring they don't have a chance at immediately redeploying right back on top of you. So if you do down an opponent and plan on finishing them, my suggestion is waiting until after the latest redeploy spawn is over. That way, that opponent is going to be stuck spectating for the next short while. Say for instance, you eliminate 3 opponents out of a squad, but that 4th is still alive waiting for that redeploy. Obviously, if you just killed 3 guys, you're probably going to have to heal up and fix some armor and whatnot, and if you have all 3 of those other squad members then redeploying right on top of you, that's not going to be a good situation. So making sure that enemies can't redeploy immediately back on top of you is definitely a key to surviving longer. Another big tip I can give you guys when it comes to the Alcatraz map in general is to avoid snipers at all costs. Now that is saying a lot coming from me. You guys gotta understand, I love sniping in Blackout. It's by far my favorite thing to do. Any sniper out there, with the exception of the SDM, that gun is absolute trash. Any sniper out there is my go-to weapon of choice. If I find a Koshka or a Pally or even an Outlaw in the game, I'm picking it up immediately. However, here on Alcatraz, there are very few long lines of sight on this map where a sniper would actually be a viable weapon of choice. And if you plan on going further into the game and surviving into that final zone, a sniper is going to end up being completely useless when that zone starts pushing players closer and closer together. The vast majority of those encounters you're going to experience in this mode are going to be very close to medium range based, meaning you're going to have assault rifles, shotguns, submachine guns, and those standard close to medium range weapons just plastering you, and having a sniper in your hands will more than likely result in you going down due to the disadvantage you have when using a weapon of that caliber. That said, shotguns, assault rifles, and submachine guns are going to fill the majority of the loot pool anyways, and I'd say it's best to stick with what we know works best in those categories. The MP40 absolutely shreds on all levels. The Rampart and the KN are heavy hitters, perfect for those medium range engagements. And let me tell you now, I cannot believe how many times an SG-12 ripped through my armor when I was looking an opponent in the eyes from 10 feet away. Now, my final tip for playing on Alcatraz is to limit the amount of time you end up spending inside of the main buildings. The building-to-building combat on this map is absurd, and a ton of the engagements you'll run into take place in or around some kind of structure, as there is actually very little open space on this map to begin with. But running through those larger areas like the cell house or the tents around the parade grounds are going to result in a lot of really awkward engagements, dealing with multi-level gunfights and corner campers, and in the midst of all of that, you've also got zombies running around like crazy as well. So I would definitely suggest sticking to those outer rings of the map and avoiding running into those close quarters scenarios unless it is absolutely necessary, just for the sake of avoiding those annoying mesh mine, razor wire, and barricade blocks alongside shotgun spam that can most certainly be a threat in those central locations. One last thing that I do want to briefly touch on that's not necessarily a tip, but more of a public service announcement, if you will, is that there are a ton of supply crates that drop on the map during any given match. And with this map being so small and so close quarters based, the areas where these crates end up dropping instantly become hot zones for squad on squad action, so take that as you please. The loot inside these crates can oftentimes be really rewarding. However, the risk of getting to that crate and getting out with the loot while all in one piece is definitely a high one. All in all though, this mode is incredibly fun. It runs great, it's hectic, it's fast-paced, there is constant action. It's quite honestly everything I could have asked for in a new LTM for Blackout. Hopefully, these tips can help some of you guys grab a couple more kills and or wins, and ultimately improve your Alcatraz experience a little bit as well. With that said though, that does effectively wrap things up for today. If you guys enjoyed the video or if you found it helpful, definitely let me know by dropping a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And if you are brand new here to the channel and you like what you see, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, that way you'll always know when a new video goes live. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.